The Shadow. Let's get into it straight away. Okay. The Shadow is from 1994. It lasts about an hour and 50 minutes. Stars Alec Baldwin as Lamont Cranston, aka The Shadow. And it stars Penelope Ann Miller as Margot. And it's got Tim Curry. That's right. He is Claymore. And the bad guy. Oh yeah. And John Lone as Shiwan Khan. Yeah. Descendant of Genghis Khan. That's right. What's the tagline for The Shadow? Who knows what evil lurks in the heart of men? Ah, okay, because The Shadow was an old 1930s or 1920s serial. Ah. And I think that was kind of like the show's catchphrase. Who knows what evil lurks in the heart of men? The Shadow knows. The Shadow knows.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
So this movie is set in the 1920s or 30s, I think it's the 30s. And The Shadow, in fact, does know what evil lurks in the heart of men. Because he has an evil about him. Because Lamont Cranston couldn't control his dark urges. Yes, so he went into debt. He went to a different country. Where is it? Tibet. And he became this like leader, this overlord of bad guys. He's sort of like a gangster in Tibet. And his name's Ying Ko. He's using the name Ying Ko and everyone fears him. But then he's taken to see this holy man, right? And the holy man he looks about 12. Well, he's just a young guy. But the holy man tells Lamont Cranston, I know who you are, I know about your history, I know about the darkness in your heart, but you can use that darkness. I'll train you to become a hero. I'll train you to take that darkness and use it to cloud people's minds, and you can see the darkness in their souls. Yeah, it's Doctor Strange. Yeah. So it's time for training, and we don't see a second of it.
Oh, man.
That's true. The next thing we know, Lamont Cranston is back in America using his own name, Lamont Cranston. Yeah, they get a scroll though without the training. Yeah, it's not quite the same. The only thing we know about the holy man and the whole training thing is that Ying Ko was convinced to go and see him because there's this knife that he can't control. It's a knife that would kill him if he didn't go and at least hear out the holy man. Yeah, it's this knife that's got a little mad, crazy little face on it. It's weird. It's weird. It's this little mouth that jabbers. Yeah! Like, yeah. Anyway, back in America, we see some gangsters and they're about to throw this guy off a bridge. Concrete bits and all. Very stereotype American 1920s gangsters. They're going to throw this guy off the bridge and then they hear laughter in the shadows.
What the Christ was that?
And they hear, hey, I'm coming to get you. Well, not quite those words. Basically, it's the Shadow, alright? Because he can cloud men's mind, because he can cloud people's minds, he can appear as a shadow, almost invisible, and so he beats up these gangsters, convinces the leader to go and hand himself into the police station, and saves the guy who's about to be thrown over the bridge. Yeah, that guy turns out to be this doctor, and the Shadow says, here, wear this ring, and join thy crew. You don't have a choice. Never take that ring off. I'll give you a signal when I need your help. He's got people all over the city wearing these rings because he's got this network of people that he can call on if he ever needs anything.
It's pointless.
The doctor says, how did you know my name? How did you know we were here? How did you know this was happening? And he says, the Shadow knows.
The Shadow knows.
Do you know what's weird? The Shadow, right? He's got his face covered mostly. And he's got like this hat on. And he can be almost invisible. Yeah. But he's also got like this big fat prosthetic nose. Yeah, that's a bit strange. I guess it's more of a disguise. It's weird. In the story, it's not a prosthetic nose. He just changes the shape of his face. Yeah, I guess that's another illusion. It's so weird. Next thing we know, Lamont Cranston is chilling in a nightclub with his uncle, who fills us in with a bit of exposition. Lamont Cranston has been away for 7 years and now he's back to save the city. He's a billionaire playboy. This is that and Andy Gins.
You've been gone 7 years.
Yes, similar. 7 years? Yeah, good point. In this club, he meets Margot Lane. They decide to abandon the club and go and get dinner together. Yeah, and Margot's like, oh, by the way, I'm a psychic. Yeah, for some reason, she's just a psychic. She just says it's something she's been able to do her whole life.
Sure, why not?
And at some point in the movie, Lamont Cranston tries to cloud her mind, but it doesn't work because she's a psychic. Her mind is too powerful. Sure. Yeah, and because of this, he decides, oh, I can't see her again. If I can't hypnotise her, then I can't possibly see her again. What? What was he planning to do to her? Well, I don't think it's that. I think it is. Later that night, back home, Lamont Cranston gets a vision of something coming. Yeah, he's sitting chilling by his fire, and then the fire becomes a big face. Looks a bit cheesy. I think the effects, the CGI and stuff in this movie, for 1994, they're not bad. They're not bad. They are bad. They're not that bad. No, I think they're quite good. Fine. Meanwhile, at the local museum, the delivery has been delivered, and it's mysterious. No one's ordered it. No one knows what it is. And it turns out it's the sarcophagus that Genghis Khan would have used. Yeah. If he was from the future. Well, it's this big ornamental casket. It opens up. Some guy comes out. Is it Genghis Khan? No, because they've already said it's Shiwan Khan, his descendant. That's right, he's the last remaining direct descendant. Even though apparently we're all, something like 80% of all the population is descended from Genghis Khan. Really? Something like that. That sounds made up. Well, I don't know, man. But anyway, Shiwan Khan comes out, he's confronted by a security guard, and then he makes the security guard, he mind controls him to take his own life. Huh. I think I had a family. Well, I don't know, but... We also find out Margot's father works at the War Department, whatever that is. He builds these little weapons and experiments and all this stuff. It's Ian McKellen. Yes, it is. It's Gandalf. Yeah. The Thor hears a sir. Yeah. That canoe's making things like this. Yeah. When he took any job going. Yeah, well, right. And one of his colleagues is Claymore, Tim Curry. Yeah, and he's sleazy's all over her. Oh, he's a dirt doll. He's a dirty little nan. Well... Back in the city streets, it's nice locations, nice setting. Yeah, some of it looks a bit studio-ish, but it does look good. And there's this cop, right, on the city street, and he's got a message to deliver to the Shadow. Because he's also wearing a ring, you see. Yeah. So he sends a message to the Shadow through a tube. Yeah, it's like one of those things you might see in an old bank where they put a message or something inside a tube and it goes up a tube or down a tube or along a tube, you know. Yeah, this is the longest tube on Earth. It's quite long. It is. I'll give you that. Eventually reaches the Shadow a year later. No, if it reaches the Shadow, he reads the message. He goes to his secret hideout, which I don't know how nobody knows where it is. He's standing in the middle of the street, leans against the wall. The wall opens up, and he goes inside there. Everyone can see. Well, it's a little bit out of the way. Not really. It's not like Manhattan or something. I don't know where it's set, but it is a busy city. Yeah, it is. Anyway, he goes into his secret hideout, and he finds out about Shiwan Khan, and Khan is there waiting for him. And he's like, hey, I know who you are. You're the Shadow. You're the Shadow. Nay, 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 nay. Also, you used to be Yenko. I'm gonna kill you. And then he leaves. Yeah. Pretty much. That is that scene. It turns out Khan has this rare substance from the past, I guess, that can fuel an atomic bomb. Yeah, that it needs a certain device, and the only person who can make that device is Nargo's father. Ian McKellen. Yeah. So we see Ian McKellen that night, Margot's father, the professor. He goes out onto the balcony of his laboratory and he sees a massive sign. Yeah, a sign for cigarettes. What kind of movie is this? Well, it was back in the day and it's, you know, it's mocking the camel sign because it's something like, I don't know, yaks or something like that. And the sign becomes Roman Reigns and hypnotises the dad. Later, Can hypnotises Margot. I thought she couldn't be hypnotised. That is a good point. Because the shadow, Lamont Cranston, he couldn't hypnotise her. But this guy can? Nonsense. Anyway, he hypnotises her. No problem. And he's like, right, go and kill the shadow. So she goes to Lamont Cranston's house and tries to shoot him. When she starts out of it, she's like, oh, he told me to kill the shadow. And I came here. I must know that you're the shadow. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because if he said go and kill the shadow, why would he say that anyway? Because he doesn't know that she would know who it is. Yeah, and if he should have just said go and kill Lamont Cranston because he knows he's the shadow. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. This movie, it's alright. I really like it. It's got a few plot holes like that, a few problems, but I really like it. Even though the CGI is a bit dodgy. Well, like I said, the CGI is one thing I actually do like about it. The rest of the movie, it's alright. Alec Baldwin makes a great Lamont Cranston. He's much better in this role than I anticipated. The movie's actually better than I thought it was going to be. I still don't think it's amazing, but it's better than I thought it was going to be. It's pretty great. Okay, well, let's carry on. In Chinatown, Lamont Cranston follows one of Can's soldiers. Yeah, and how does he know he's one of his soldiers? Because he's dressed in 12th century armour. Not one person, that's an eyelid. That's true. But Lamont and Can are sitting across the table at a restaurant with that soldier standing guard, holding a gun. And Lamont hypnotises the guy and makes him hand over his gun. Yeah. So the Shadow and Can shoot at each other, the bullets meet in midair and just fall to the ground, and Can gets away because he's got that little knife from the start. It's like, ah, the little jabbering knife. Lamont can't use it, he can't control it, he doesn't know how to, despite his training with the Holy Nan. Yeah, that was pointless. Well, Can gets away because of this. Lamont Cranston, he just goes home. Yeah, he does. And has a nightmare where his face is melting. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Even though Can get away, the Shadow confronts Claymore because Claymore is the only American who has decided to team with Can and his men. Yeah, and Claymore is inside this giant water tank. It's empty like, that he's inside it and he's setting up the dawn there. Yes, on top of the building. And when the Shadow confronts him, it goes really badly for the Shadow. It does. Claymore manages to get away and he turns on the water. So the Shadow nearly drowns. And then he has to like call out in his mind, Margot. She's sitting in her office and she's like, oh, what's that? Oh, okay, here I come. And just drives across the city. And somehow manages to get there in time. Saves the Shadow and then takes him home so he can recuperate. Yeah. While he's recuperating, Can has built an atomic bomb. He's made an entire building an atomic bomb. Once that blasts, it'll take out the entire city. No one can see it because he's hypnotised the whole city. That the Shadow can see it. Yeah, his mind is strong. The Shadow infiltrates the building. Yeah, and he's always laughing, this guy. Yeah, he is. Despite any danger, he's always laughing.
Did you think you'd never see me again, Claymore? I'm right here.
He's got a good sense of humour. Right. Once again, he gets Claymore. Yeah, he isolates him in this room. And, like, Claymore's like, oh, let me go, Nate, let me go. And then the Shadow just hypnotises him to kill himself.
There's your exit, Claymore.
Is he a hero or what? I don't know. But Claymore is no more. There's some scenes of the Shadow taking out some of Can's men, and then eventually it comes down to Can versus the Shadow, of course. and Khan's gonna kill him because he's got that little knife, the little knife. Yeah, the little knife with the face on it. He says, you can never control this knife. This has always been your weakness. And Khan makes the Shadow almost stab himself with the knife. But then the Shadow finds her mental strength. He takes a knife and stabs Khan with it. Khan is wounded. He flees the room and the Shadow gives chase. He ends up in a hall of mirrors because I've never seen that before. He'll end up in a hall of mirrors, and although they don't really use it because as soon as the Shadow gets in there, he just snatches all the mirrors with his mind. Yeah, he does. And then he picks up a shard of broken glass and stabs it into Khan's skull. He's a murderer. Well, he needs to save the city. While this is all going on, Margot has convinced her dad to snap out of his spell, and they together disarm the bomb. Phew. And then the next thing we see is inside a psychiatric hospital. Khan is there. He's got no frontal lobe. It was removed to save his life. The only way they could get the glass out of his head without killing him was to remove his frontal lobe. So now he's lost all his psychic powers. I mean, he's still alive, he's fine. Yeah, he can live a normal life. Well, as normal as you can without a frontal lobe, I guess. Well, you manage. That's basically the end of the movie. Yeah, like I said, I thought it was really good fun. It had its problems, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I still don't think it was amazing, but it was alright. I liked, you know, some elements. Yeah, I liked all of it, except the CGI. Okay. Any trivia? Yes. Tim Curry took his role as Claynor because he is desperate to work with Ian McKellen. They barely share the screen. Sam Raimi wanted to make this, that ended up making Dark Nan instead, and then Spider Nan. He wanted to remake it in the 2000s, but it's just never happened so far. Come on, Sam Raimi, we're all rooting for you. Any more? Yeah, you know Bob Kane? Yeah, Bob Kane, co-creator of Batman. Yeah. He says the Shadow is a huge influence on Batman. Oh, the Shadow came first, of course. Yeah. And Bob Kane and Bill Finger ripped it off. Well, I don't know about that. They did. They just put wings and ears on the guy. Okay. Well, that's the Shadow from 1994. Let us know what you think. And hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video. The Shadow knows.